Let's start with understanding APIs and integration into today's digital landscape. So, see, most of the audience that we have on here on Salesforce Health channel and who join our webinars as well is what we see is pretty much technical, right? So, you do understand what exactly integration is all about and what exactly the role of API is when it comes to integration. But today we're going to explain it in a language which like 10-year-old or 15-year-old will be able to understand that what exactly API does and what exactly how important integration is in today's digital landscape. Uh, Nowadays, anything and everything that we do is all about using the right systems, platforms, and applications. And there is no one single application which is doing everything out there, or which supports the needs of every business function that you have. You need you need to have the best of the best technology for anything and everything that you want to do into your business. And in order to utilize the best of everything, you need to integrate all of those different applications and systems together. And whenever you want to integrate different applications, systems, devices, or anything together, the need for APIs arises, and that's exactly how it gets solved. So, uh, what is an API? API is an application programmable interface or programming interface, whatever you want to you want to call it, which basically defines the way how one application or one system can communicate with another and share data. I mean, whether it can send the data or get the data, or it can also initiate some actions into different applications, or also can receive actions that it needs to that the current application needs to perform, which are getting generated or which are getting initiated by a different application or a different system. And that's exactly what API does. And it's not a new thing, of course. For all along, for whatever applications we have been using so far, whenever we wanted any two different applications to communicate with each other, all what we did was created an API and then called the API from the other one where we wanted the communication to happen. But it's a very technical process, and a lot of developers who are not, or a lot of people, business people even get scared sometimes when they hear the term integration or API or something like that. Their brain just freezes when they hear the term API and integrations. But the point is, it should not be like that, and that's exactly what application platforms like MuleSoft had understood way early, because they were able to identify that okay, this is going to be a thing. You cannot have a single application to do everything, and even if you have it, you might need some other applications to be integrated with it, which are not of your own. What I mean by that, let's say you want to get some data from a government related application. In that case, you do not own the application, or do not have the code of the application, or like code of the government application that I'm talking about. But still, you want to communicate with that government application. How will you do that? With the help of API. Let's say you want to fetch the data of the conversion rates from a different website. So how will you fetch that data? With the help of an API, because of course you cannot create your whole own system to calculate what conversion rate is for USD to whatever EUR today. So that is why we need APIs, right? Because different applications perform different functions, and in order to like put all of those functions and systems together and create a bigger system which serves the purpose of the business or serves the purpose of that system or application, you need to create APIs. But you need you need amazing expertise of development in order to set the integrations. And it's not just about setting the right integrations, it's also about making sure that whatever the data interchange is happening, or whatever the whatever is the purpose of the integration, it is secure also, it is being managed well also, and there are no losses that are happening to the data, or there are no challenges that we are facing with these integrations. And that, creating an API and then creating an API which is secure, compliant, governed, and absolutely managed is a different thing. And a lot of developers lack the skills of creating an API which does all of the above. So so in order to manage all of these things, platforms like MuleSoft have been created, which can be utilized very very easily by the like businesses or anybody who wants to use it, to integrate their different applications with each other, and that too without writing much lines of code, or sometimes even no line
No
of
line
code,
code. Yeah.
right? So that's exactly what integration platforms like MuleSoft does. Of course, I'm going a little ahead, which I should not, but yeah, that's pretty much what it is about. Now let's talk about the key challenges in securing APIs and integrations. I was talking about developers not having the expertise of making the most secure APIs, and making sure that they're managed and governed really well. So now let's look at the key challenges that we face while securing the APIs and integrations. Uh, okay, so number one is unauthorized access. Uh, I mean, you need to follow the right protocols in order to provide access only to the right individuals of the right data, right? So you do not want uh, a, a tier 2 level user to get the access of the data which only the admin should have, right? And that's exactly what and that's I think data exposure. But unauthorized access basically means that you have created an API, but you have but that endpoint is open. Anybody and anybody and everybody
Anybody
who
can
can hit
access it.
that endpoint can access and get the data, which only a few people who should have the authorized access to it have. So that's one thing. Lack of standardization. There is no standardization that is there in terms of the data interchange and in terms of the in terms of creating it. Then comes data exposure. There's a lot of data exposure. That this is the example of tier 2 user and the admin level access. Then shadow APIs, vulnerabilities, injection attacks, risk of self-hosted middleware, using master accounts for integrations, and unwanted scopes in API integrations and production environment usage. All of these challenges, uh, I mean, are big enough challenges when you create APIs and integration, and all of these things needs to be addressed. And in order to address all of these things, you need to have a developer or anybody who's writing down the code to create the API needs to have amazing expertise in integration in order to tackle all of these challenges, or in order to keep the API secure from all of these challenges. And that is rare to find, of course. And if you do, that's also very expensive.